Hello and welcome to yet another cast. For you today I have a 3v3 played on the Mapgen and the Matchmaker. Yes, hello YouTube. We have Team 1 up here in the north, Team 2 down here in the south. I just realized that the marking tool doesn't really work when I'm zoomed out that far. But let's introduce the players. In the back slot for the northern team we have Babel, going Seraphim in blue and opening first air, and also by looks of it going for an early bomber. And then to the east of that, in this purple we have Jedi 45, going Siphon and opening first land. And to the south of that, in dark blue, we have the Crimson Knight, also going Siphon and opening first land in dark blue. Again, something of that doubled, not sure which I did or which aspect I doubled. No, don't care, I'm just gonna continue. For the southern team in the back slot, going in red and going Seraphim, we have Sapot opening first land. To the north of that in orange, also going Seraphim, we have Lovin also opening first land. And to the west of that, yes, that is actually the west, we have Dimasika Gapasik, or something like that. Dima, from now on. Going Cypern and opening first land and Burgundy Red. Who will win this one? I honestly can't recall. Like, I checked it a few hours ago, but I already forgot. So, yeah. Anyway, it is a 3v3, it is on the Mapgen, and it is a downsized. Not sure how far this is. The 12 or 15k. Right. Something I remember is that I think this shows the map size. It's a 10 spawn map, and never mind, that does not show the map size. Well, 640, I don't know what 640 means in actual, in the kilometer scale, so no clue. Don't know how big this map actually is then. But the early bomber out from Babel now going in, and apparently going for the backline. Yeah, I know, I don't know what the actual size numbers correspond to in the scale of the game. Let's see, that bomber is... There are some... well, never mind, that bomber is actually moving north now. I guess going after these two maxes, not these two maxes, these two entries up here. Other than that, some early silence out from Lovin. Moving up here. Or, well, currently just keeping this area covered. The bomber taking out one NG. And... oh, that's amazing clump. But Dima already sees that coming in and goes for a... starts evading. And also gets out a Sky Slammer to try and shoot that bomber down. And is successful in that. That bomber does go down without only taking out one NG, which was moving up with the ACU right here for Dima. Cypod moving in, I guess, to spot that ACU. Providing some help. And now also Babel moving down that direction while Crimson Knight is collecting these maxes down here, maybe building some spam, not too sure, but Crimson Knight actually is sending their commander over to the other direction against, not against Sapot, against Lovin. God, names are really difficult for me today for some reason. But yeah, factory for some engines coming out here. Very nice move, because you always want some energies on your front line. For reclaim on the one hand, but also just to get rider and stuff like that up. And just also generate more factories to use that reclaim. But currently not too much aggression. There is some spam now starting to collect, but yeah, again, not too much. A bomber out coming out from Crimson Knight, which is tagged on something because I can't see its movement command. And looking at that trajectory, I expect it's the farms right there. And I honestly have no clue. And does it drop? Yes, it does. Yeah, okay, I was correct. And it kills one of those farms. Don't think that really paid for itself though. Inti already out from Sapot, trying to help against that. The bomber does get another drop off, kills off 2 more tanks, and gets shot down. And 2 tanks at this early stage can make a pretty big difference. Massive spam production now being thrown up by Crimson Knight to support that, the western side with just spam. I guess they intend to play both sides, one with the ACU, one with spam. And just a lot of energies, but not really a lot of spam currently built up by Dima. They currently only have 2 factories, though one of them is already T2, so... And that's why they didn't build much spam, they went for a T2 land rush. Which can definitely pay off if they get the property 2 production up quick enough. However, their economy probably does not really support that. Yeah, they are the lowest economy in the game at just 23 right now. And with that, their ability to actually produce any sizable amounts of T2 spam are significantly reduced. And they are definitely building way too many T2 energies because that's going to be a massive mass stall, yes. They are stalling 41 mass, over double their income. Well, not over double, but almost double their income just as a stall. So that's something you really don't want to do, ever. Well, maybe if you're building a game ender or an experimental, or maybe upgrading maxes, it's not that bad, but if you're not doing any of that, you really don't want to stall 3 times your income. You really don't want to spend 3 times your income. That's not really advisable. Dima pushing up very aggressively with that commander, and some pretty large amounts of spam now coming out from Crimson Knight. Also quite a few factories up here, and those are producing... Those have the rally point in that base, I guess, to be able to send that into both directions, depending on what's really necessary at that moment. Bubble going for gun. And that amount of spam will probably prove to be a major disturbance for the Saffron team's current situation, as I don't think they really have anything to counter that at this moment in time. Because this is not gonna cut it. Those few mantas. And the battle has begun. The Crimson Knight has started their push. Well, never mind, they started a small skirmish by pushing in a slight bit, but pulled back. Though, again, I'm pretty sure they could probably get this commander by just pushing into that and just taking that out, especially with the AC of Babel having that gun upgrade. And the one of Dima not having a gun upgrade. On this side... Right, both teams having 2 ACUs on the eastern flank. Gun upgrade going up for Jabin Novin and for Jedi 45. And Dima does have overcharge. They definitely also have enough power for overcharge since they have that T2P gen. And they are starting to get up some economy. The ability to mass fab, I don't really like that because I'm pretty sure they would have been a lot better off getting that, just getting more max upgrades. Especially since that's gonna just suck up their power production that they currently need for overcharging. Well, I guess they currently don't need it any longer since there isn't an army pushing into that, but this early on mass fabs does not seem like a good idea, to be completely honest. Now, there is some spam currently also produced by Babel. Somewhere, I guess, yeah, right here in the back. No, that is currently paused. I expect to just get up more eco. Or to get up some T2P gens, which does equal more eco in the long term, as that is required for a proper air build. Now let's see, look at attacked air. There is T2 air out for support, and that is going T3 already. Now the push on the eastern side is continuing. So as I already pointed out earlier, there is some T2 protection out for Dima, though they were not really able to capitalize on that. Probably due to the fact that they did not have the eco to support that. You can have all the production in the world and all the tagging in the world, if you can't afford any of it, it's not going to do anything. Similarly, a push going on the other flank. Maybe let's go for the split screen, something I usually don't do. And a lot of fire going into Jabin Love. But also Crimson Knight and Jedi. Both ACUs here having gun. I wasn't sure if Crimson Knight had gun, but Jedi definitely does have gun as well. However, they seem to be out of range of Sapot and thus will actually survive at very, very low HP. So let's join the, let's end the split. And let's look how it is going down here. There's some T2 now produced out from Babel to... Wait, no, those are T2 entries. Well, those are currently still just throwing up some PD though. Trying to prevent a push coming in to just take out ACU and general other stuff and the base. Probably more permitting to take out the base. There's also some T2 out for Sapot, though again they do have T2 and now T3 air. Which brings me to the situation, does any of the northern team have T3 air? No. No, they don't. Oh dear. There's our T3 land currently going up for Jedi. And I don't think there's currently any T3 land going on for anyone else in this game. More PD being thrown up underneath the shield to just get that properly protected against the overcharges and the ICU. That ACU throwing in overcharges into that spam army, but also taking some fire from the gun ACU, which however is forced back due to the T2 PD and the very high range of that. And the slow tickling to death coming out from the southwest turrets. The one big problem with firebasing, which we can see right now, you can always just walk past the firebase. And that's exactly what Babel is doing. They don't just stick around and try to walk into that firebase. Instead they are going around, and by looks of it I suspect they may be going for the base of Sapot, who currently has nothing to defend as they are an air player, or more air focused, and probably expected to be protected from Dima, who did not do a very good job at protecting, I want to point out. Though the existence of these rhinos is still proving somewhat helpful against the still completely T1 force out from Babel. But a singular rhino is not enough to stop an entire T1 army. Dima trying to use that commander to help defend, but the faster speed of the units just preventing that from actually being successful, and T2PD and gunships now being thrown up by Sapot in order to just try and defend their own base. Completely fair. And yeah, that Wolfu putting in quite a bit of work, providing quite a bit of firepower, though with the presence... Right, never mind, those are moving north. Is there anything north currently going on that those could be effectively used for? Well, there's a massive all-out push going out from Babel and Jedi up in the north. And interestingly, a very small counter push coming out from Dima in the west. But this push has been completely stopped without doing too much damage, luckily. Or well, not really luckily, but just due to the PD thrown up by Sapot. And yes, they do have T3 air, and they are going for Strat Bomb, I believe. Let's again check for tagged air. There is T2 air currently in this slow process of going T3 out for Babel. However, I don't think that that will reach T3 in time to stop a Strat Bomber. Let's see if there's any other air tagging going on that might be able to help against that. There is T3 land out for Jedi, so they may be able to throw up a SAM or something like that to shoot that bomber down. And I just lost the bomber. Never mind, there it is. It's currently not being gifted orders. That does not seem like a good idea, since the Strat Bomber right now really relies on just capitalizing on the early air superiority, and more important, the advantage on the tech level. And there it goes. Okay, it did get an order now. Though honestly, I don't think trying to use that against an army is too great of an idea. I think that would be much better invested in some bombing of, well, P-gens, Maxes, stuff like that, just to do economic damage. And maybe even deny the T3 air build. Though Babel is about to achieve T3 air due to the large amounts of build power put into that. Currently sitting at 95, 96, 97%. Yet it is going up quickly. And a tag command has been given on some stuff apparently with that bomber. Going for 1 T2 max. Taking that one out. Not getting that one, and going for 2 T1 maxes, 2 T2 maxes right there. So with that getting 3 T2 maxes. And 2700 mass kit. Going for another set of 2 maxes, though the bomb did not reload in time, so it needs to go for another pass on that. However, there is now an ASF out from Babel to try and deal with that, but the bomber is now going for the T2 power of Babel, taking out one finished P-gen and a bit of E-storage. And there is now a SAM out for Jedi as well, taking down that Strat Bomber. Though I think it probably did some pretty decent economic damage onto the northern team. Especially for Babel, who now was probably power stalling? Never mind. They actually aren't. Though by the looks of it, they are currently relying on power overflow from their teammate who does have a T3 gen, so fair enough. But large scale T1 push going out from Jordan Lovin against Babel. And just basically shredding the production capabilities that were placed up here in the front. Which in the long term might also help win this flank, though with the emergence of T3 land production on that on this side, and more importantly dust production of bricks, I don't think that this T1 army will be able to do too much, and will most likely just be mostly obsolete against that superior attack coming out from Jedi. Though there is a little bit of T2 production now coming out, that those Ushwas will definitely be able to do something, at least a bit more than those Earthworms. I still don't think that those will be able to really put up a fight against the brick production coming out. But we will have to see about that. Meantime, small bit of T1 and a bit of T2 skirmishing, or T1 with a bit of T2 units just skirmishing down here in the southwest. Unsurprisingly, the army with the T2 units does win that. But there's now also a force with Ushwas coming out from Babel. And that will probably be able to do a lot better, especially also with the large amount of spam up here. But T3 production for Jedi, at least the support factory, is going down right here. So with that, the thing that I was pointing out that bricks could be a bit of an issue, more unlikely to happen, though there is still this HQ which is going to... Wait, no, that's not the HQ, that's the support factory. The HQ is back here, but that factory is still producing bricks, but that will definitely decrease the amount of bricks that can be produced by Jedi for now. And army currently moving more south, I guess trying to get some of that radar, some of the economic structures in the area. Taking out radar can be very useful, as you are basically just blinding your enemy with that. Though, considering the fact that there is currently air presence overhead, that's not really the case. Since air presence does of course provide vision, like any unit, without with the exception of force actions. Though those are also not counted as unit if I remember correctly, so whatever. But Jedi using that gun commander to very great success in just taking out this entire army and throwing in a lot of damage into that. Though only stealth on that commander, which means that it is quite vulnerable to just being swarmed and fired upon and just taking damage, I guess, as most units are. But it doesn't have the HP per origin that would get with the nano upgrade. And thus, I think Jedi needs to be a bit more careful with that. There are some bricks out though, while they are already just going down to the mass of T1 spam. So I guess just mass T1 can counter just counter T3, because, well, at some point you just start to swarm the ship you're facing. Even if that stuff is very tanky and has some pretty good DPS, like the brick does. But that massive amount of fire is just not enough, it's just too overwhelming, even for the tankiest of units like the brick. Now gunship also coming down on Jedi, in conjunction with this massive army. Though in the backline there is now T2PD being started to thrown up, or start to be thrown up to try and defend. Try and take out that spam, but Jedi is really shedding those HP very, very quickly. T3 NG is moving in to build some T1 BD. Very good call to go for T1 BD at closer range, as it does have higher DPS than the T2 BD. And really just suffers in terms of range and HP pool, but since this army is mostly T1 anyway, it's definitely going to be pretty useful in taking that army out. The one problem with that being, due to the shorter range, you need to build it closer to the enemy, which does put your NGs into jeopardy. Or endanger those NGs, or however you want to put it. Now, the spam seems to have thinned out though. No longer quite as much, and definitely in a manageable amount. The ACU also no longer shedding HP as quickly, and more bricks now coming in to reinforce. And with that, I think the reclaim field will actually go to Babel and Jedi. Probably more like Jedi, but honestly, this might have just been a massive mass dump, because that was a giant army. Not too sure how much that was worth, but I feel like it wasn't worth as much as it killed. It was actually worth more than it killed, so probably didn't pay for itself. And with that, it did definitely delay any land spam coming out from Jedi, but at what cost? The great caster question. Because if in the end the amount of mass that was lost was still greater than the one that was killed, then you really didn't gain too much. But T3 aggro now thrown up by Babel, or start to be thrown up. Currently only one T3 air factory out for Sapot. I guess Sapot trying to go for some other stuff as well. By the looks of it, well, no, might not really any land spam, but maybe some more additional ecoing and stuff like that. And Dima actually, I think, coming back now also with econ stuff like that on their flank. They actually did manage to get over 100 mass income. And the Saturn team is actually currently ahead on mass. So they were actually capable to, or able to come back from their earlier, their earlier collapse. Let's put it like that. Also a lot of shield, just shield assisting currently being used by them to keep the shield alive while there was the push coming in. That was trying to take out DPD as well, I guess. And that does, while it does cost a lot of mass to assist these shields and keep them up, it is definitely a very, very effective strategy to just keep your shit alive while the enemy isn't pulling in, or moving into the shield. But a lot of reclaim, and Dima will probably get most of that. And with that they will probably be able to build up their economy even more. But game turns a bit more static right now, so let's speed it up a bit. Well, +8 is maybe a bit much. Okay, I think Babel just decided to control K there. Since Jedi was questioning and Crimson Knight is finding out the game was lost. So that seems a bit questionable, as I still think this game could go either way. Like, yeah, they are at a map control disadvantage, but that's not that bad currently, as their eco disadvantage is still manageable. Though now they will definitely lose it, as they are as Jedi is 1v3. But again, very large push of T1, building up for Chabin Lovin. And currently not really much to counter that. But that could still change. And especially Prix will be very effective in dealing with that, as that army does look more intimidating than it actually is. As again, it is primarily T1 and could easily be just countered by some slightly larger amounts of T3 or maybe even a single T4. Let's see what the Southern team is currently going for. Monkey Lord going out for Dima. And they are also very, very active and currently reclaiming their the stuff that has died here. Though I think they are currently power stalling. Yes, quite heavily. But it does make sense as they currently do not have a T3 Pigeon while building that Monkey Lord. And while the Monkey Lord isn't the most power intensive experimental, it still costs quite a bit. And generally, you don't want to build experimentals without at least some T3 power, as they all take up quite a bit of that. Now, Jedi built up an experimental, which I completely missed. I don't know where it was built, or what experimental it is. And I appear to be blind as I currently cannot find it. Ah, here it is. It was a Monkey Lord. Jedi also going for some nano on that ACU. I guess to just use that more aggressively once the, in case Chabin Lovin is pushing in with that massive T1 force. As a nano ACU will probably just completely shred that. But to be fair, so will a Monkey Lord. T1 does not trade well against experimentals. The Monkey Lord for Dima does finish. And with that, both teams do have a Monkey Lord out. Though one team has... well, never mind. To be fair, the units for the Southern team, or the spam for the Southern team, looks a lot more imposing, but it's probably not really that bad because, again, it's mostly T1. And will just get wrecked by the higher tier units. So it looks a lot more intimidating than it actually is. Now on that note, is there actually any thing like T3 going out for Chabin Lovin? Well, T1 production has ceased. What are they currently investing into? Right, they have started T3, but they aren't really that far onto that yet. And they're surprisingly actually spending their mass. Not sure what on, but... well, they seem to be spending it on something. Now, slight push coming on out right here on the western side. Out from Dima, and the Monkey Lord is just walking right past that. Something we really don't want to see. And that monkey would probably also be able to cause quite a bit of damage. Maybe, but there is a lot of PD queued up, so maybe it won't. We shall see about that. Now, monkey for Dima moving over the pond. Or not over the pond, those series are moving over the pond. No, that monkey is moving underneath the pond or through the pond. Going through the water where there is no real defense on the other side. And honestly, at this stage, I would actually say that the game is decided and Team 1 North will probably lose. But I still think that Level Control King was, well, it was a bit prematurely. And definitely still winnable at that point. Now the Sponsoon guns on the Monkey Lord just firing, and due to the Monkey Lord being stealthed, I guess being able to also just fire into all the stuff with impunity, as nothing was able to actually see the Monkey Lord. Well, it was obvious that there was a Monkey Lord due to those two Sponsoon guns you see right here. But these plasma bottles, I think they are called. But yeah, since it didn't show up on radar, nothing was able to actually target it. There's Strat out that is targeting the Monkey Lord, but most of the PD that was firing into that has died. Well, all of the PD that was firing into that has now died. And with that, there's currently not much opposing the Monkey Lord, except that Strat Bomber and I guess some PD in the second firebase. Would probably have been a better idea to walk the Monkey Lord through the mountains down here and get in through the backline. But I guess I have the caster's foresight, knowing, seeing everything that is going on, and knowing everything that is going on. Sometimes. Well, not even sometimes, most of the time I have no clue what's actually going on, but, well, I could technically know everything that's going on, because this is just a replay that is moving at the game speed I wanted to go at. However, that Monkey Lord, that Dima build up is now, has gotten into the main base of Jedi, has taken out a lot of maxes. There is a Monkey Lord out from Jedi right here in the back. Though right now I think that the one out from Dima will probably win this. And Jedi just consigning to this game, and the Monkey Lord moving the ACU in close enough to just go down to the Monkey Lord. To the laser of the Monkey Lord. And thus dying. And thus, of course, the Southern team does win. Right, I hope you enjoyed this cast. If you did, leave a like, or don't, can't control you. And yeah, there are gonna be more casts like these, so if you want to be notified when those do go up, you can always subscribe to my channel. It is free. And yeah, this was streamed live on Twitch, link to that will be in the description as per always. And yeah, see you in a future cast or stream, and yeah, till then, bye!